To Iraq now, and a rare trip into the heart of Iraq's triangle of death with the American general in charge on the ground. On a day of several important developments, the deaths of 7 more U.S. soldiers in roadside bomb attacks, and the reported capture of 2 senior al-Qaeda operatives in northern Iraq, our Jim Maceda was granted rare access to accompany Lieutenant General David Petraeus into the places that could make or break the American war effort.
What felt like a whirlwind tour of the battle space by air and on the ground was just another routine day for General David Petraeus, America's top commander in Iraq. A man keenly aware he's betting his illustrious career on the success of his so-called surge of U.S. troops.
We've gone from a surge of forces to a surge of offensives.
To make his point, he took us to Yusufia, a town on the front lines of one of those offensives south of Baghdad, and smack in the middle of the so-called triangle of death.
What's your biggest challenge?
He grilled his officers. Al-Qaeda had been isolated in many areas here, but was still a serious fighting force. Then he opted to drive, not fly, into town. Yusufia was a no man's land only months ago.
So were you here the day when the terrorists blew up the market?
And he visited with Iraqi merchants, in spite of the 115-degree heat, taking the pulse of the town.
We want to make a good relation with you.
And we with you. Akid.
Known for his in-depth style, Petraeus stayed all afternoon in Yusufia, debriefing Iraqi army officers and his own commanders. But fully aware that further north in Bakuba, the fighting was fierce and that many top al-Qaeda leaders had managed to flee. He wasn't too concerned.
There's clearly still a fairly substantial number of fighters and mid-level leaders, and perhaps some of the senior guys. Now,
how long will it take to turn the war around?
I'm not making predictions. You try. Nice try.
Good try. Petraeus calls himself a guarded optimist and a realist. He knows America's patience with Iraq is wearing thin.
At the end of the day, what we've got to do is all that we can with all that we've got right now, and then hope that that can give some hope to those who are looking for it.
That's a big gamble, even for a commander known to take big risks. On our way back to headquarters inside Baghdad, Petraeus chose to fly low over all of the hot battle zones, getting a bird's-eye view of the surge his way, firing flares to ward off heat-seeking missiles. Jim Maceda, NBC News, Baghdad.